Hi, everybody. Welcome to Pockets Full of Soup. I'm your host, Jared Petty, joined today by
Chastity Vicencio.
Chastity Vicencio of
GameSpot.
What do you do at GameSpot, Chastity?
I'm a senior producer / host there, so I host a lot of the entertainment content. So there's a series called Nerding Out where I talk about shows that I like. You can see me on there, and I'm the fill-in host for the news, and I host a lot of streams.
Okay, so you're a host. You host for a lot of their entertainment content. Now, in entertainment content, they're fairly new, right?
That's fairly new. We're kind of building that out right now and feeling it out, but we are on YouTube. It's called GameSpot Universe. That's the name of the channel that all of our entertainment content is shifting to.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you're also a producer. What's a producer do? A senior producer.
Senior producer.
Okay, what's the
I worked my way up, sir.
What's the difference between a producer and a senior producer?
Just more responsibility, really. Okay. Yeah.
So what does a producer do for people who don't know?
Well, I've been a producer for years. As a senior producer, I work on custom content. So I put together videos and organize everything, make sure the talent is in place, the crew is in place, make sure that everything we need is there before we shoot. And then I oversee the shoots, and then I oversee the edits of them.
Cool. So you're Chastity, a senior producer and host for GameSpot, and today you're here on Pockets Full of Soup. You were telling me you listened to the show.
I do. I'm so excited. I've seen many of the episodes. I've listened to more of the episodes on iTunes on my way to work.
Just like you can. That's right. You can watch us on YouTube. That's right, at youtube.com/c/pocketsfullofsoup. You can listen to us on iTunes or Android or SoundCloud or your favorite podcast service. You can subscribe. And, we always beg for that because it really, really helps. So please go to YouTube and subscribe. It's more helpful than you can imagine.
It's worth subscribing to.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. Yeah. And you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/JaredPetty. That's me. Also, there's now a t-shirt with my face on it.
And I want it so badly.
Oh, you want a t-shirt?
It's so cute.
Oh, really?
I saw that Max drew it, and it's really adorable. Usually he draws horrific monsters, but he was able to draw something incredibly cute.
He drew a horrific monster. He just made a very cute version of a horrific monster. That's what he did.
Come on.
No, Max made me into a shirt recently, which is fun. Max, a very talented artist.
Very, very talented.
Do you draw?
I'm very bad at drawing, but when I do draw, it's usually Karopi, the Sanrio character.
I love Karopi. What else besides drawing? What else are you bad at?
What else am I bad at?
Bad at, especially something you're bad at you wish you were good at.
I'm bad at sports.
Okay.
I'm bad at staying athletic and going to the gym. I wish I was a little better at that. And I'm not good at math. I really wish I was better at math.
You wish you were better at math? Why math? Do you have math needs now?
No, sometimes I can't calculate tip in my head, so I always use the tip calculator on my phone because I have it.
That why you're always using anytime we go out, you're always using that app.
It's the tip calculator.
No kidding. You'll scan the bill.
I don't want to gyp anyone. I don't want to shortchange anyone. They work very hard.
Tipping is next to godliness.
Exactly. I used to work in the food industry, so I understand.
Oh, what was your job in the food industry?
I was a barista / server at a cafe down in Santa Clara.
Did you enjoy it?
I kind of enjoyed it. Yeah, it was fun. I got all the free espresso and cake that I could ever want.
What's the best job you ever had?
I was a babysitter when I was 17, and the people I babysat for, I just had to hang out with the kids for about 3 hours, and then they would just let me stay up all night, watch their illegally downloaded movies, eat all their snacks, and just hang out in their house. And I got $10 an hour, no tax. It was great.
You could probably still do that, Chastity.
I could. It was a really good time.
I mean, I'm guessing that you could probably find that job still if you want it.
Yeah, it was a great job.
What's to keep you from doing that?
I like my job now.
Senior production / hosting?
Yes, I do love my production / hosting.
Excellent. Yeah. Well, Chastity, I'm going to start with the first question that we always start the show with until I decide to change it. Tell us about somebody you're thankful for.
Someone I'm thankful for. I'm extremely thankful for my uncle. His name is Richie Acosta.
Richie Acosta. Yes. This is our first Pockets Full of Uncle.
Oh, really?
Yes,
this is the first uncle that's been mentioned?
This is uncle number one.
I'm the first one to value an uncle.
Yeah, well, I'm sure others value uncles, but not quite
as
much. Uncle comes first here. Yeah, I'm a big fan of uncles. I had a great, I had a great uncle, and I had an uncle who was great. Both those were different people.
Lovely.
I have an uncle I love, and of course there were the Nintendo uncles. Do you remember those?
No.
Okay, so Nintendo uncles. Those were the uncles that everybody on the playground had that worked at Nintendo and told them secrets about video games when I was growing up.
Wow.
Yeah, everybody had a Nintendo
Yeah.
uncle, and they would tell you about what was going to be in Zelda 3. And things
Okay,
like that.
no, he counts as my Nintendo uncle.
You have a
as
Nintendo uncle?
Yeah, he told me all about Nintendo stuff as
So
well.
his name is Richie.
Yes,
right?
his name is Richie.
All right, and he's a Nintendo uncle? Please expound. Let's start right there.
He was kind of, he broke me into video games and comics and Star Wars, and everything that I pretty much turned into my life and career was attributed to him. He got me into all of that stuff.
How did he get you? Like, what was your relationship? Did you live with him, or did you visit him a lot, or did he come? Was he the cool uncle that showed up on holidays, or what? What was he?
So he's my mom's youngest brother, and he was pretty much my older sibling. I didn't have any older siblings, and I was the only child on both sides of the family for a long time.
Okay.
Until my brother came along when I was 5. So I just had no one to like hang out with or play with, but my uncle was only 13 when I was born, so he wasn't that much older than me, but still young enough to like hang out with me and watch me.
Okay.
And I would just kind of watch what he was doing, and he was playing NES, and he was drawing, and he was skateboarding.
About when was this ish, like era wise?
It was the late 80s.
Late 80s.
Yeah,
okay.
This was the late 80s.
So he skateboarding?
Yeah, he would skateboard a little bit. He was just like this really cool kid that I looked up to, who was good at video games and who could draw really well and who liked to skateboard. And he also, when he was a little bit older, he was a DJ, and he would DJ at the house parties in our house.
You had house? Wait,
My grandmother had house parties.
Your grandmother had
Yes.
house parties that required a DJ?
Yes, they were
Expound.
that big. They were that big. So
Please tell this story.
my grandparents had big parties. They had a church group, and so they would bring all of their friends from the church group in, and most of them were Filipino families, so we were all Filipino families that would get together at their house, and they would just have parties and get-togethers very often, actually. And so they would love to line dance. So my grandma and grandpa loved to line dance.
When we say line dance, are we talking? There's several. Are we talking like boogie woogie woogie, or are we talking like country line dancing?
Electric slide, achy breaky heart, Macarena,
Billy Ray Cyrus line dancing.
Yes, all of that.
Did you line dance?
I did a little bit.
Did Richie teach you to line dance?
No, I knew them just from copying the older members of my family.
This is a pretty amazing mental picture. Was it a big home, or was it just crammed with humans?
It was a big home. It was 2 floors, maybe 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. Yeah, it was a big house.
Who lived there?
It was just my grandparents and my 2 uncles.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Richie was one of the uncles that lived there.
Yes, I would be over there a lot. I lived down the street.
So it was close to your house?
Yeah, pretty.
And how much older was Richie than you?
13 years.
13 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so wow, that is great, because like you're a little kid and he's
Yeah.
like the cool 18, 19-year-old guy.
Pretty much,
Oh,
yeah.
no kidding. That's perfect.
Yeah, so he got me into anime when I was very young. Yes, like he had VHS tapes that he got from Chinatown, because that's how you got anime back in the early 90s, late mid 90s. You had to go to Chinatown, you had to get these bootleg dubs on VHS, and he would just bring them home, and he would just have all these, and he's like, let's watch these. And like when he had to babysit me, he would just put a anime on, and we'd just hang out together. He'd get me some mac and cheese, and then we'd just watch like Ranma 1/2 and
Bubblegum Crisis at that point?
Yeah,
or
a
was
lot.
it-
Yeah, he was super into Gundam, so we would watch some
Okay.
Gundam.
All right.
Dragon Ball Z, a ton of Dragon Ball Z.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And these are all on bootleg Chinatown VHS.
Yes, with subtitles.
Well, I do remember that like the subbed like VHSs that you bought at stores were like $80 back then, right?
Yeah, they were
So
expensive.
yeah, it was incredible.
Yeah.
So bootleg anime and mac and cheese. This uncle
Yes.
sounds amazing.
He's the best.
Why did he? Do you know why he took such an interest in you specifically?
Because he and my mom are 10 years apart, so he's a lot younger than his siblings. So my mom was 10 years older than him, and already a mom and doing a lot of work, and she was going to PA school, and she wasn't around to like hang out with him. So he needed someone to hang out with too. So we just kind of needed each other in a sibling capacity. Like we didn't have any siblings to hang out with. So his were much older than him and already full-grown adults doing adult stuff. And I was just like this little baby that didn't have any brothers and sisters to hang out with.
Well, let me ask you this: That's an interesting. You said brothers and sisters. Would you describe your relationship with your uncle at the time as more paternal or fraternal?
No, definitely brother and sister.
Or like uncle off in so brother sister.
Yeah, it was more of a brother-sister relationship.
kidding.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it still kind of is to this day. Like we're still best friends. basically,
That's
from afar.
fascinating.
He lives in New Jersey. I live in California.
Okay.
But we're still pretty much best friends.
When did you move away from Uncle Richie?
I moved when I was 17. So
Okay.
I grew up in New York, and then I moved to California with my family when I was just turning 18. But then we stayed in touch. I would come visit every summer because I just needed to see the East Coast at least once a year because I missed it so much. All my friends were there. My uncle was there. So I would go back once a year and visit them. So I saw him pretty often. And then this past summer, I lived in New York for 3.5 months.
Right.
So, like, he was so excited. And he was over the moon. And I broke my heart to leave him again because he was so sad.
Did it break your heart?
It broke my heart that I was leaving him. But I was really happy to come back. And he knew that this would be for the better for me. So he was sad for himself, but extremely happy for me.
Yeah, I wondered about that. What was it like leaving him the first time?
It was hard. It was very hard. But he was also, he just became a dad. So, like, he was starting a new stage in his life. And, I mean, I was about to go to college. So we were both going on different paths in our lives. So we weren't hanging out being best friends anymore because he had just gotten a son.
Right.
His son was, I think, 2 years old by the time that I moved out of New York. So he had, he was fine.
So the difference between Uncle Richie and you and the difference between you and Uncle Richie's son is about the same distance of time.
Yeah, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later because now everything that he did for me, I'm doing for his kids, and I'm so excited about it because he's got a son and a daughter. And when I was his daughter's age, she's 6 now. When I was his age, he had just introduced me to Street Fighter 2.
Oh.
And I became obsessed with fighting games after that. And now this year I got to hang out with his daughter a lot, and I introduced her to Street Fighter 5, and I'm gonna cry.
Oh my God! Please, no, tell us about that. That's incredible.
It's so
tell
cute.
the story.
Yeah. So she's this really cute little girl, and she loves Star Wars. Her name's Leia. She's named after Princess Leia Organa.
Okay, that's incredible.
She's the cutest, and she's very smart. She said very wise things to me, such as fashion doesn't matter.
Oh,
at the age
how
of
old
6.
is she?
She's 6.
Fashion doesn't matter. Okay.
And I was like, you're right. You're absolutely right. And she she loves playing with Chun-Li. And I loved playing Chun-Li when I was her age. And so she picked up the controller, and she just loves, like, playing as Chun-Li, and she's like, can I play Street Fighter? And then, like, we would come home after, like, getting lunch, and she'd be like, can we play Street Fighter? I'm like, yes, we can.
And this was all summer?
Like, yes, this was pretty much all summer.
Oh my gosh. No, why did she love Chun-Li?
She loves a strong female character.
Why did you love Chun-Li?
The same thing.
The same thing?
Yeah.
Was that it? Yeah.
Yeah, and also she was an Asian character as well. So it was someone that I could look up to in media who I didn't really have to look up to on TV and in movies.
So when you were growing up, let's talk about that, actually.
Sure.
You said your uncle introduced you to Street Fighter 2. Before we go back to Street Fighter for a second, I want to run down that comment for a second.
Sure.
At the time you grew up, you said it was hard for you to find people to look up to in media?
Yeah, it was. I mean, there weren't a lot of Asian characters that I could look up to, especially as a female. I mean, we had Jackie Chan and Jet Li, who were awesome, and I loved watching their movies, but I didn't really see any female characters that I could look up to. I mean, there was the Street Fighter movie. I still to this day love Ming Na Wen.
Just for being in that, or just for in general as an actress? Yeah,
just in general for being awesome. Okay. And now she's on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., kicking so much butt, and I love her to this day. She tweeted at me once, and I couldn't work the rest of the day.
I have a secret love in my heart for the Street Fighter movie.
I still will watch that movie anytime. I don't care. I love it. It's bad.
Raul Julia's delightful in it. There's Esperanto all over that movie. Have you noticed that?
Kylie Minogue was Cammy.
Is in that movie?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you ever watched it with the director's commentary?
No.
Oh,
that sounds like something I need to do.
Yeah, I'll get you the disc for Christmas.
Please do.
You need to see this. Okay, so but
yes.
That's my question. I guess was Chun-Li the first character you remember identifying with, the first kind of mass media character?
I think so, actually, because I was about 6 years old, and that was the first Asian female character in media that I was really looking up to. Later on, I was super obsessed with Sailor Moon, but I think Chun-Li came first.
So your uncle introduced you to Street Fighter 2. Tell us about that.
Yes. So he would take me to arcades. I lived in a small town called Long Beach, same as former guest Jonathan Dornbush. We grew up in the same town.
You and Jonathan? No kidding. I didn't know that.
Town. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But there used
Are you
going
to start talking about the OC and the Gilmore Girls?
No, I'm not.
Okay. All right.
There used to be an arcade on the boardwalk. We lived in a beach town, and so my uncle would take me there for fun, and there was a Street Fighter 2 arcade cabinet there, so that's the first time that I played Street Fighter 2. And
Did you play against each other?
Yes, but he would always beat me, but once in a while he'd let me get around him, but he would still beat me.
So he's kind of teaching you.
Yes,
okay.
He wanted to teach me. He wanted me to get good. He wasn't concerned with like, oh yeah, you can do it, and letting me win. He's like, no, he wouldn't let me win. But eventually I got better, and then as I got older, I was able to beat him, and now I can beat him every other round.
Oh, no
much.
kidding. So it's about even.
It's about even now, yeah.
Do you still play 2 or do you play 5 together now?
We play 5 together now, because we were playing 5 all summer.
Your Uncle Richie took you to the boardwalk there on Long Beach.
Yeah.
You're playing Street Fighter 2. You picked Chun-Li first?
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw
There's
that?
a cool girl. I was like, oh, there's a cool girl.
What's the best Chun-Li move?
Lightning kick. It's easy. It's the easiest one to do.
Yeah, and so when you're a kid, you smash that button, and you're like, there we go, ready to go.
Yeah.
So I play Chun-Li as well.
Yeah,
so that's why I'm interested.
Yeah. I also love the spinning bird kick, but it's harder to execute, especially as a 6-year-old.
Yeah, it's hard to execute. It's not all that useful except in very specific situations.
But it's pretty cool looking.
Yeah, it is cool looking. Yeah. I've played Chun-Li my whole life as well.
Wow.
So because I guess maybe I am also wish to be an Asian woman. I don't know.
I switched over to Ryu as I got older. Actually, yeah, I switched over to Ryu, and now I'm Ken in Street Fighter 5, which is weird. But I was Chun-Li for my entire childhood. Then I was Ryu from my tweens to my later 20s, and then now I'm playing as Ken.
So now Richie's raising Leia.
Yes.
And he's playing Street Fighter with her, I assume.
Yes.
You're playing Street Fighter with her. She gravitates towards Chun-Li.
And his son, too. His son's name is Angelo.
Angelo.
And he's also very into Street Fighter.
Who's he play?
He's playing... He likes Zangief. Yeah, that's his favorite.
Let's hop back to Uncle Richie for a second here. What's the best Uncle Richie story?
Oh man,
what's just the best Uncle Richie story?
He's a great guy. He did a lot for me as a kid. One time there was an Easter where I didn't get an Easter basket, so he got one, and he put a video game in there because I love video games. So he put it on the doorstep, rang the bell, and ran away. And then I opened it, and I was like, oh, the Easter Bunny didn't forget me. And I was like, the Easter Bunny knows I like fighting games? Because there was there was a copy of Art of Fighting on the top of the Easter basket for the Sega Genesis. And I was so happy, and I played that game for months, and I was so happy. And I was like, Uncle Richie, I got Art of Fighting. Do you want to play? And he was...
The Easter Bunny brought you an SNK fighting game.
Yes, the Easter Bunny brought me Art of Fighting.
That's incredible. And
Uncle Richie.
When did you find out it was Uncle Richie?
Later on, I figured it out. When I was a little bit older, when I realized that the Easter Bunny wasn't real, I was like, who would have known that I would like this game? I'm like, Uncle Richie totally left this on the doorstep.
Did you ever let Uncle Richie know what some of the stuff has meant to you? Like, have you ever been able to tell him?
Yes, I have. Like, as we've lived from a distance, I've wanted to remind him that he's like helped form me as a person and all my interests. He got me into comics. He used to work for Marvel, and he did an issue of Daredevil back in the 90s.
Art or inking or writing?
Yeah, the art. Okay. Yeah, the penciling.
No kidding.
I think it was 373, and yeah, and he signed it for me, and I kept it all these years, and I'm really proud of him for it. And he used to do like freelance comic work for like Image and Marvel. And
so is he still a professional artist?
No, he's not. Like, you can't raise a family on comic book day.
Really hard way to live.
Yeah, exactly. So it was his dream. So he did it, and then now he's designing logos, and he's still doing graphic design work. So he's still making things that I see every day in stores. But
has he ever drawn you?
Yeah, he has drawn me before.
Oh my gosh, do you still have it?
Somewhere, yeah.
I would love to use it as like thumbnail art.
No, because I'll tell you later.
Now I'm intrigued.
No, I can't talk.
Okay. Well,
he drew me and my ex, so it's awkward. That's what's awkward about it.
And we'll move on. Stepping away from that awkwardness.
Yeah.
So, have you ever had the opportunity to return the favor to Uncle Richie?
I think so. Well, in any way that I can. Like, I'm his best friend, and I talk to him whenever I can. And like, just me being there for his kids this summer meant a lot to him, and just like hanging out with them and just showing them what I'm into and trying to influence them and be there for them. I want to be there for them more, but I live so far away, so It was really nice to spend a summer with them.
To spend that summer and have that opportunity. Was it hard to walk away from that?
Yeah, it was hard to leave them. They're so sweet. Those kids are so sweet.
What about so in your family, you have your Uncle Richie, who is your brother. Is there anybody else in your family you're this close to?
Yeah, I'm really close to my dad, but yeah, my Uncle Richie is the relative that I'm closest to, like on a friend level. And I'm also close to my dad.
Oh, I didn't interrupt you. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
What's your dad and Uncle Richie's relationship like?
They're good. Yeah, they have very different interests, but they like each other a lot. Mm-hmm. They're both very chill people, very open-minded and understanding, and they like to laugh. They tell a lot of jokes. My Uncle Richie's extremely funny. My dad's very funny. So yeah, they have a good relationship.
How has Richie made you a better person?
He's shown me that I should always defend the things that I am passionate about, no matter what, even if people think it's weird. Like growing up, it was less accepted to be a nerd, and now it's totally like mainstream, so that's awesome. I'm excited for kids that are into nerdy stuff now, but earlier on I would try to pretend that I was into cooler stuff just like to get by, but like, I mean, I should have just told people, it's like, no, it's awesome to like all this stuff, it's great. So I don't know, that, and also just to be an open-minded, fair person, and to, you know, give people the benefit of the doubt, and to, you know, care for people, and just like the way that you should treat your brothers and sisters. Like, he treated me really well, so I treated my brother and sister really well when they were eventually born.
When you were talking about the influence he had on you at a time when your interests were less accepted, and I don't want to...
I wasn't bullied for it. I just kept it secret. That's pretty much all it was.
Did you kind of have to have two versions of yourself, depending on whether you're...
It wasn't as bad as an Asian girl, because it's totally acceptable for me to like anime. People just weren't as into it as I was, but I found certain friends that were also into it, and that's how I formed some friendships, which was really nice.
So at the time you felt like there was a stigma, but that your ethnic background helped with that?
Yeah, it did. Like, it helped with liking anime, because no one cared. It's like, yeah, sure, of course she likes anime, she's Asian. But yeah, other things, just like comic books, and my friends weren't into that as much, so I didn't have as many people to talk to about it, but I had my uncle and I had a couple of friends.
Yeah, I don't want to pry. I just saw you missed up there for a second.
Oh, no, it was fine, yeah.
I just wanted to make sure everything was okay.
I get emotional. It's fine.
No, emotional's good. I mean, about the people we love. It's great. So Richie made it okay for you to keep that in your life when you were with him. Chastity, when did you reach the place in life where that became you every day, everywhere, with everyone? How did that happen?
I guess as I got older, I just stopped caring as much what other people thought about me. I mean, I was definitely thinking about that until I was a teenager and like into my late teens, for sure. But then I stopped caring about.
Do you remember a cathartic instance where you suddenly discovered, oh my gosh, I'm me through and through wherever I am, and that's okay?
I think that didn't happen until my mid-20s.
No, I'm not surprised by that. Yeah. I still don't think I've done that. I mean, you're braver than I am. I've never really had the courage to be entirely who I am most of the time. And so hearing you say that you had this man who helped you do that, and that you grew and became who you are through the love of other people and the lessons they taught and through what you've taught others. But the fact that you were able to do that eventually, how does it make you different? If people have things inside they love and want to say, what would you say to them that Richie taught you? Yeah,
I would say just embrace what you're passionate about, and you can turn that into a career. I did. I don't know how that happened. He did, and he was a comic artist. He drew for Marvel, and I thought that was incredible that someone could turn their love of comics into a career. And I was like, I want to be able to do something like that someday. I can't draw. I cannot draw, but there's something that I can do because I love these things. I'm like, maybe I could just talk about Marvel someday. And now I do. I talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. every week, and I talk about Doctor Strange on camera. It's fantastic. It's
kind of a magical fairyland we live in, isn't it? It's pretty great. I love it. But yeah, it's... what scale it comes into your life, I can't tell you for sure how it's going to work out. But there are ways, it looks like, to turn what you love into something that can become a deep part of your life every day. And that's a lovely lesson.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you for sharing that story.
Of course.
Really wonderful.
Of course.
Anything else you want to say about Uncle Richie before we move to the next part of the show?
No, I'm just really grateful for him.
So Uncle Richie, thanks a lot, man.
Thanks, Uncle Richie.
Yeah. Hopefully we can send this to him.
Oh, he's going to cry.
Yeah? Good. Is he a crier?
I think I make him cry.
Why do you make him cry?
Because he loves me so much. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you're going to listen. I'm a crier. Guys, thank you so much for watching the first part of the show. We're going to move on to Instant Noodles. But first, again, let us know your stories of who you're thankful for. You can tweet that at PettyCommaJared. That's PettyCommaJared. Tweet those thank you messages. Try to keep them to 140 characters, or mail them to mail@pocketsfullofsoup.com, because we love reading them on the show. Just the stories of the people you're thankful for. Also, our new show, A Pretty Good Day, is out now, and we're always looking for stories about the best days of your life. So if you can kind of sum those up into maybe one paragraph and send them over, sometimes we read those, and I hope that you'll send a few over. Again, mail@pocketsfullofsoup.com. And finally, your support, your subscriptions, and frankly your dollars keep us on the air. So if you want to send a little our way on Patreon, or pick up one of those goofy shirts with my silly face on it, that's really helpful.
It's an adorable shirt. I can't wait to get it.
It really is a cute shirt. You're so sweet. Have you ever been a shirt?
No, I've never been a shirt.
You'd make a much better shirt.
Oh.
I'm impressed. You've been a cartoon. You've been a shirt or a comic. I got to be a cartoon recently. Oh yeah, that's
really cool.
Actually, I think I could finally let this out. But so one of the friends of the show, Panda Musk, is
he's great.
Yeah, he was in town recently, and we recorded an episode all about the most horrifying creatures in the natural world.
Oh my.
And now I think it's safe to reveal Panda is putting together an animated episode of Pockets Full of Soup.
That's so exciting.
So
he's very talented.
It's going to be a while, guys. These things take a long time, but it is coming.
They do.
So yeah, he's incredible.
He's so good. I've worked with him on videos for IG and Snapchat.
Yeah. He's extraordinary.
Really good stuff.
So now, are you ready for our lightning round, Instant Noodles?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You ready?
As I'm going to be.
I'm getting out my list here.
Oh,
I
boy.
usually do this on paper. Today, we're trying a technological experiment where I have the questions on my phone.
Oh.
All right, so
high tech.
Yeah, exactly. I know, we're moving into the 21st century.
It's the future.
So these are just kind of rapid fire. You know, the lightning round. Very Ross Geller.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
What do you think of that episode?
It was good. I love Friends, so. Yeah.
I love Friends, too. It's my favorite episode of Friends. I think that the one with the embryos.
Oh, man. It's a good one.
That is. You got that lightning round. Here we go. Number one.
Oh, boy.
This is a user-submitted question. Or user. Geez, you're not user. A fan, a community, a Pockets Full of Soup family-submitted question.
Got it.
What is best sandwich?
Best sandwich is an Italian sub from New York or New Jersey. Just packed full of meat. And I like it with vinegar and mayonnaise and mustard and lettuce and tomato.
Vinegar, mayo, mustard, lettuce, tomato, and packed full of meat.
Packed full of Italian meats and cheeses.
No, what kind of, like pastrami or salami or?
All of it.
All the yummies?
All of it.
What else? Anything else in
That's
particular?
it. Yeah, just a big old Italian
You
sub.
want some cheese in there? What's the bun? Like a hoagie roll?
Yeah, a hoagie roll's good. Just a regular bread roll is fine.
Onions, yes or no?
No, I don't do onions.
Okay. Banana peppers, yes or no?
Sure.
Okay, yes.
Why not?
That one. I wondered. So big New York, New Jersey Italian sub. Have you found in California, is there anywhere to get an analog?
There's a light chain version of it. There's a place called Jersey Mike's Subs that does a decent one, and you have to get extra meat on it though. It's never tall enough.
Doesn't taste right unless
it's
there's
never tall enough,
so but even that's kind of a pale comparison in your mind.
Yes, yeah, but it'll do.
There are some regional foods you can only get in the place. It's weird.
I like more meat than bread. It's just like.
Oh yeah, I'm a tremendous fan of just a giant thing of sliced cold cuts with a little bread in the top and the bottom. I'm good with that.
That's what's up.
What's a movie that makes you cry?
Oh man, a movie that makes me cry. The first 10 minutes of Up.
Oh no, it's so difficult.
Yeah, every time.
I had a student in Japan. I love this story, and again, hopefully I'm remembering this completely right, but we were talking one day when Up was in Japan. It was a big hit, and because it's a great movie.
It's a great movie.
But I noticed that the title of Up in kanji was really long. What did it say? Well, yeah. So my Japanese reading skills are terrible. So I went to one of my students and I was trying to figure it out. I said, "Can you tell me the name of this movie?" And they said to me something to the effect of, "Oh, this movie is called Carl Oji-san and the Story of the Amazing Flying House with Balloons."
That's really cute. I like that a lot.
And I was like,
but it's so long.
Yeah, I was like, Carl Oji-san in the case of the Amazing Flying House with Balloons? And they're like, yes. And I was like, and they're like, what is it called in English? And I said, Up. And she said, Up? And I said, Up. And she thought for a second. She went, that is a better name. I thought that was...
That's amazing.
That's one of my adult students.
They could have just shortened it to The Amazing Flying House with Balloons.
Yeah, well, maybe I have, but if I remember correctly, what she said was Carl Oji-san and the Story of the Amazing Flying House with Balloons.
That's amazing. I love it.
I love that too.
I love that title.
What's a movie that shouldn't make you cry, but does?
Oh, man. A movie that shouldn't make me cry, but does.
Yeah, a movie you're embarrassed makes you cry.
Moulin Rouge?
That's totally
no,
fair.
You can cry at the end of that.
That's a good choice. That's totally fair. Every time the moon starts singing, it gets me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm okay to the end of the song, and then on the crescendo when the moon sings.
It's not because Satine, passes away at the end. It's because, sorry, spoilers. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. It's because the music is so good, so I start crying, and Ewan McGregor's voice is so good that I start crying.
That last scene is great. No,
it's so good.
Or that last singing scene is incredible there in the room with it. No, that's a beautiful.
Just watching him sing and just like the passion, and his voice is so good.
Just knowing that he will love you until his dying day.
Until the end of time. Yeah, I'm like, got me again.
Come what may.
Oh God.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Yeah, and it's no spoiler. She's dead.
Sorry.
Start of the movie.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. No, they're just like this movie starts with you dead. Yeah. Like, I mean, it's gonna. All right. What's the best song written in the last 100 years?
That's a big question.
It is.
Crap.
Yeah. But you're on the spot, so you're always going to regret this answer later.
That's different from what's your favorite song of all time.
Right.
Yeah, it's the best written song.
Yeah, what's your best song written in the last 100 years?
Oh my God. On the spot, it's really hard to choose, but Bohemian Rhapsody, maybe?
What?
Yeah. It's incredible, and just the different parts of that song, and they shouldn't fit together, but they do, and just the melodies on that song are incredible. The lyrics, the instrumentals, just people get sick of that song because people kill it at karaoke every time because someone always picks it, but it is one of the best written songs
People
ever.
pick it because it's delightful and wonderful and zany and perfect.
Yeah, but then you get sick of it because you hear it all the time. But unless I guess if you're like me and you go to karaoke a lot. But I love that song.
I spent a year in a dorm room with a roommate who played the Titanic soundtrack every night when he went to sleep. So it was,
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, to this day, if I'm driving down the highway and something nautical starts playing, I just start to drive. Just like that.
Just fall asleep.
Yeah. You mentioned it's different than your favorite song. What is your favorite song?
My favorite song of all time?
Yeah. Curious.
I think one of my favorite songs of all time, the one that's sticking out in my head, is Bizarre Love Triangle by New Order. I don't know why. I just love that song. Do you know that song?
I love you so much
right
now. You are the best.
It makes me feel so good. I love that song.
Incredible.
I love the music to that song.
Chastity, this is a kind of a sidebar here, but we love to go on tangents. You told the story on the Comedy Button, a show you should listen to and watch.
It's a great show.
Well, you can't watch, but you should listen to.
Some episodes you can watch,
Oh, that's true. There are ones you can watch. Yeah, the thing where they drink like the weird liquor from China. You can watch that.
Yep.
No, but anyway, you told the story, but I'd really love to hear about your professional singing career for a moment.
Oh, no! I didn't know this was going to come up. Professional is a loaded word to describe my singing career.
I've seen the CD.
Oh, boy. Yeah, so I did have a CD. I was a aspiring pop star in my teen years. That's what I thought my career would be as a teenager. I started singing when I was 14, and I was writing songs at the age of 13. And so I was writing it for my then girl group because my friends were like, they would casually sing together and be like, do you want to be in our girl group? I'm like, I've never sang before. They're like, you could be a backup dancer. And they're like, we've seen you dance. You're a pretty good dancer. And so I was like, okay, cool. So then I joined their girl group, and then I started singing backup, and they're like, you're really good. I'm like, no, I'm not. And then,
I've heard you sing. You're great.
Oh, thank you. But at the time I was untrained. My voice was everywhere. But yeah, I started singing more, and I got really into singing. I joined choir in my school. I started getting singing lessons, and I was just super into singing, super into performing. I was writing songs. I was performing at the talent shows at my school. I was performing at Starbucks in Long Beach. Yeah. Just like local performances, whatever I could do.
Doing what people do when they're trying to break in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, that's the thing that I did for a while.
And there was a CD pressed at some point.
There was a CD. Yeah, there was a CD.
What did Richie think about this whole thing?
He was into it. He made that cover actually.
No kidding.
I took those photos with a photographer, and then he mocked up the cover. It looks very 2001, and he put my name on it. Yeah.
The cover is kind of a
It's
work of art.
super 2001.
Yeah, it's kind of
2001.
art.
The picture.
Is there, maybe we should use that for the image for this
All
show.
right, yeah, that one you can use.
Okay, we might have to use that one for this. But,
that one you can use.
But of course, it never really came together past the CD.
No,
right? That
never
was,
past me like handing it out to people at high school. High school,
it was like a demo, right? Mostly.
It was a demo. Yeah, it only had like 4 songs on it.
Yeah, so an EP.
Yes, it was an EP.
Excellent.
Yeah. 4 or 5 songs.
Can people still buy your
No,
your CD?
It's the only copy left, unless someone else has one. Please reach out to me. Is in my mom's house.
I will pay you money to dump this on iTunes.
No, it's not good.
I don't care.
Some people like it, and some people do not like it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm embarrassing you terribly because
no, it's fine. It's totally fine.
So yeah, no, I mean this is you got to go for it.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
this is the
gotta
only
chase
way.
your dream.
Yeah, you
Sometimes
do.
it doesn't work out, but you got to chase your dream.
No, I was going to be a professional baseball player.
That's incredible. Were you?
Oh yeah, until I played in Little League for a year. And
oh my gosh.
And then you know what? I was like, I'm not good at baseball. Never mind. This is too much work.
Gotta try.
Gotta try. Honestly, I barely tried. You tried much harder on yours.
You gotta try. Yeah.
No, but no, I mean, our dreams, we got to find out whether it's the right thing for us or not.
Yeah,
so I think
exactly.
I think it's groovy you did this. I've never had a CD.
I mean, I would still love, I've never had a music video, and I would still love my own music video someday. So
be careful what you wish for.
No, I need to be involved with it. Please don't make a music video of me.
For more on.
Please don't cut one up of just footage of me. That would be really weird.
No, that would be a little weird. But I'm sure we can find a way to make this happen. We know a lot of talented people.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. Yeah.
People who could probably make a music video. Go. What's the most terrifying creature in the natural world?
The most terrifying creature of the natural world.
Yeah.
I just don't like parasites that go inside you.
Ooh.
Yeah, I just don't like any kind of parasites that like when you're going swimming and they go in your ear and then all of a sudden you're effed up and then you're done.
So like brain parasites.
Yes, brain parasites, anything that you accidentally drink.
What about tapeworms?
Those are bad too, but just those when you're like, oh, I just wanted to go swimming and have a nice day. It's summer, and then they just mess you up.
I had a biology teacher in high school that loved to tell tapeworm stories. I think because he was bored and he knew we were bored, and so and I don't know if he was making them up. He talked about like how you could like have to pull them out of your throat or out of your butt, or and that they would be like 6 feet long.
I've heard a story where it had to come out of the butt.
Anybody who knows whether or not it's true tapeworms come out of your butt, please let us know.
Yeah, I don't know if that story is true. I just heard it was.
Mail at pocketsfullofsoup.com. Let us know if tapeworms in fact come out of your butt. Yes.
Maybe.
Don't send pictures.
I'm not sure if I'd like to know.
Oh, you
no video, no pictures.
I may have told you this story before, but I don't like toilet humor very much. But this is a true story that somebody told me that still makes me feel weird. I have a friend who's a nurse in North Carolina who was talking about a person that came into the emergency room very compacted.
Oh no!
Unable to pass
Yikes.
excrement, and after attempting several of the more well-known methods, finally, my friend the nurse looked at her and said, "Honey, it's time to get out the poop spoon."
Oh no!
Which is apparently a thing in hospitals.
If you're listening to this, you can't see my face. Jared, why don't you describe it to them, to the listeners?
Tell the face.
Just show my face. Tell them about my face.
You kind of look like you just saw a car accident, but the cars were being driven by octopuses, and the octopuses exploded. And then a big foot came out of the sky and squashed them all. Yeah, you look like you're throw up. Honestly, don't worry. Sorry about the.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
I have a strong stomach.
There's just something about a thickly accented, bubbly Southern nurse going.
That is hilarious.
Honey, it's time to get out the poop spoon.
That is really funny.
She said the young lady was very grateful when it was over.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure. It's hard to be compacted, I assume. That doesn't sound like a good time at all.
No, it doesn't sound like fun. Okay, so parasites.
Parasites.
Oh man, you ever had a parasite?
I don't think so. I've had like a tick, but never like one that went inside.
Yeah, one that goes inside. That's I've had ticks on me before too.
Yeah.
Ooh, no, finding a tick on you is the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah. My dad actually got Rocky Mountain spotted fever twice.
Wow.
From tick bites. Yeah, two different times. Yeah.
Yikes.
If you could travel through time and meet any one person, who would you meet?
Oh man, any one person.
Yeah, just one
travel
person.
through time.
Go visit them.
That's a good question.
Yeah, who's it going to be?
I'm still thinking about my answer, but because we were talking about Raul Julia earlier, I kind of want to hang out with Raul Julia. Because,
Raul Julia's awesome!
Because I can't anymore. It would be nice to hang out with Raul Julia.
What would you do with Raul Julia?
Talk about Street Fighter.
Was he talking about
Talk
Street
about
Fighter?
Addams Family? I don't know, but he's not my answer. It just popped into my head.
Yeah.
I don't know why that popped into my head.
He was a really delightful actor.
Yeah.
But who would you want to go with?
Man.
They're closing the door of the time machine.
I don't know.
We need an answer.
Oh my god, I don't know. This is really
it's
hard.
The lightning round.
This is really hard.
It's going to end up being Raul Julia.
Let's just go with Raul Julia.
All right, it's Raul Julia. There we go.
I can't think of an answer right now.
It's all right.
All I can think about is Raul Julia.
It's all any of us should really be thinking about. What's the first thing you think when you hear the sound of your own voice?
I like the sound of my own voice.
Yeah,
I
so
do.
If you put it into one word, what would it be?
Smooth.
Smooth. Okay.
I think I have a nice voice.
Smooth. You have a delightful voice,
Thank
and you really
you.
do sing marvelous. We've done karaoke before, and
I love
you're
karaoke.
just a wonderful. Oh, geez, I just did Japanese. I'm
That's
sorry.
okay.
I usually say karaoke. I fell back into.
I don't care. Yeah.
Well, no, but I don't want to be that guy that's like. I got made fun of at a meeting recently because I was like Drockway, and I was like Drockway, eh? I was like, I didn't mean to do that, which is Dragon Quest. But only if you live in Japan, and otherwise it's just not okay. Again, Ross Geller,
Yes.
Karate.
Yeah, karate.
Yeah. Unagi.
Unagi.
I'm sorry, why are we talking about friends so much? What's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Pistachio.
Ooh, good one.
I love pistachio ice cream.
I love
It's delicious.
Where's the best pistachio ice cream you ever had?
You know what? It never fails. Baskin Robbins never fails me.
Oh, no
Pistachio ice
kidding.
cream. It's not the best. I know that for a fact. I've also probably had better, but I just love. I think it's because I ate it as a kid a lot. So it's just like one of my favorites.
That's really solid. I like that a lot.
Thanks.
The best pistachio ice cream I ever had was at Epcot Center.
Ooh.
I happened to be in the World Showcase on a day that one of the restaurants, completely unannounced, had a champion ice cream chef. Apparently there's such a thing.
Wow.
Visiting.
That must have been incredible.
Yeah, I sat down and they're like, you really
pretty
want to
jealous.
order the dessert today? And I was like, why? And they said, we've got this guy and he's the best. And he made pistachio ice cream.
We've got the guy.
Yeah. And
We've got the ice cream guy.
It was as if Jesus of Nazareth made this pistachio ice cream. I've never had anything like it.
Oh my gosh.
The
I'm
flavor
so
was
jealous.
incredible, and the consistency was unlike anything I've ever had in ice cream. It was and it tasted.
I'm really envious of that experience.
I wish I could plug my brain into yours and share it.
So I can experience that.
Wouldn't it be cool if we could share awesome memories?
Yes, that would be really cool.
Wow. What's a memory you would share with? Like,
a really cool memory that I had.
yeah, like if you could share it with people, like an experience, some kind of like marvelously hedonistic moment or something that you could share with people.
Looking at Florence, Italy, when I visited Florence, it felt like I was in another world. I felt like I was in a movie.
You love Florence?
It's beautiful.
It's the city that created Dante and Leonardo.
I know, it's so gorgeous.
It's the place I want to go most in the whole wide
You
world.
have to go.
I want to go.
Gorgeous, and you can visit the entire thing on foot. It's incredible.
I didn't know you'd been to Florence. We're gonna talk.
Yes.
We're gonna have the Florence cast after this, guys. Get ready for the Florence cast.
Florence cast. I had incredible rice gelato in Florence.
Oh, Dante and Leonardo. Just incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Oh goodness. What's your favorite word?
My favorite word. I like the word onomatopoeia.
Oh, that's a fun one.
Yeah, it's a fun word.
Onomatopoeia.
Yeah, onomatopoeia.
All right, that's a great one. Who's your first kiss?
His name's Brian.
Yeah.
It was after a Spanish final in 10th grade.
In 10th grade. How was it?
It was good. It actually felt unreal because I'd never been kissed before. And so I was just like, whoa, I'm kissing.
So did you say something in Spanish immediately afterward?
Nah.
Yeah. Okay. I wondered. I was just like, ay de mi.
Yeah.
Or kind of.
Ay, que rico. No, nothing. I didn't say anything of the sort. No.
This is always a divisive one. Cake or pie?
Pie.
You're the best.
I love pie more than anything.
You're the
you
best.
Realize
Please,
this?
no, I didn't know this. Expound on pie.
Pie is my favorite thing in the whole world. If you ask any of my best friends, ask Jen, ask Max, Jen and Max Swivel, yeah, they know how much I love pie. I've loved pie all my life. When I was in high school, if I compared something to pie, my friends would know how stoked I was about something.
It's like pie.
Yeah. What happened once at the very end, I was having a going away party because I was moving to California, and I invited my crush, and it turned out he wasn't going to go. And then the day of the party, one of my friends said, I think he's going to go to your party. And I was like, this is better than pie! And they're like, wow, she's really excited about it.
Can I steal that and put that on a t-shirt? This is better than pie?
Yeah.
Okay, watch out. I'm going to do that.
I got really stoked about it. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing your zeal for pie.
I love pie.
Oh, man. What is top tier pie?
Apple pie is my favorite pie
That's a good
of all
one.
time. Yeah, but I love all sorts of pie.
Okay. Yeah. I'm rapidly deciding you're just the perfect person.
Thank you.
All right. Last one here. What's one question you have for me? That you'd like
One
to ask
question
you?
I have for you. What inspires you?
Oh, man.
Every day, what inspires you?
What inspires me every day is, this is going to sound so cheesy because it's something I struggle against. Hope.
Yes.
I think that hope is sometimes the best you can do. I don't know if you can always have love, and I don't know if you can always have joy. And sometimes you can't even scrape together hope. But hope is what inspires me to keep going. Hope
I understand that.
Yeah, you get that?
Yep.
It's my motivating force. The idea that every now and then the good guys win one. The idea that every now and then in the midst of horror, something good still happens. The idea that I really do believe that one of the reasons I'm drawn to faith is that faith is ultimately not about knowledge or certainty or being right. It's about hope.
I agree.
Thanks.
That's a really good answer.
That's what keeps me going. Sometimes hope can be misguided. Sometimes hope is delusional, but sometimes hope is real. And that's what I live for.
It's important not to lose hope, especially times like these right now. A lot of people are losing hope. It's important to hold on to it.
I've seen a lot of hopelessness. I felt a lot of hopelessness recently. I've been through a rough couple of years.
I'm so sorry.
But hope's held on. Yeah. And people have given... Hope is about... hope is largely in others. Hope is about other people.
Yeah.
Helping... Anyway, now I sound like a cheesy infomercial.
That was not cheesy. That was such a good answer.
Yeah, that's what keeps me going. And I do think that there's... Every now and then I see evidence of hope fulfilled. So that's nice.
That's important. We need those things in our life.
Dreams do come true sometimes. So.
They do.
Thank you. You've been delightful.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm so glad you were here to talk about your Uncle Richie and about all these wonderful, silly little instant noodle things and about Florence and about pie and about Chun-Li. And so, Chastity, thank you for visiting.
Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Thank you, friends, for watching and listening. Chastity, where can people find you again if they want to know more about you?
Sure. Follow me on Twitter. I'm at Chastity_V, and that is also my tag on Instagram as well. And go to GameSpot. Our YouTube is youtube.com/GameSpot. Also, GameSpot Universe is where I host a lot of entertainment content about, well, it'll be later, but I talked about Westworld, I talked about Walking Dead, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Marvel movies, a lot of fun stuff.
Thank you so much, Chastity. And thank you guys for watching and listening. Bless you. Keep hope. Until next time.